Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the third grade concept of classifying shapes and solids. This is standard 3.6a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 30 of the 2021 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have some objects here. We've got a can, an eraser, a toolbox, and a drum. And we simply need to classify them based on what type of 3D solid they are. And you see our choices here. We have prism, cylinder, we got a cube, and sphere. Everything else kind of repeats there. So what are each of these? So let's first look at a prism. So a prism is going to have rectangular faces, and it could have all rectangular faces, plus sometimes another shape. So you can have a rectangular prism, you can have a triangular prism, but really what we're dealing with are some rectangular faces held together by sometimes another shape. So for an example, here would be a simple rectangular prism. So we've got some rectangular faces, and this one is all rectangles, right? And very similar to this would be a cube, because remember, squares are a type of rectangle, right? They're just a special type of rectangle. You notice the similarity here, if I can draw that correctly, right? So we're dealing with rectangular faces or square faces. Sometimes we'll get a triangular prism, right? So a triangular prism kind of looks like a tent, right? So if we're going to want to try to do this, it's a little bit harder to draw, but you've got the three rectangles, the three rectangular faces, and then you got the two triangles at the end. Sometimes you can even do a hexagonal prism. So if you get really ambitious, you can draw two hexagons and connect them with rectangles. You could do that with octagons. You can draw two octagons and connect them with rectangles. I'm not going to even try that. That's what prisms are, right? So a cylinder is pretty simple. Now they could be short and fat, they could be long and skinny, right? But what you do is you have two flat surfaces. We're not going to call them faces because they don't have edges. So you have two flat surfaces connected by one rounded surface. So there's for example, you're going to have a circle up on top, and then you're going to have kind of a circle on bottom. Draw that little line right there to make it look like it's, look like it's behind. And that's really what it is. It can be really tall and skinny. It can be kind of like this. But these are cylinders because you've got a flat surface on the bottom, you've got a flat surface on the top, and you've got something that's curved. Sometimes called a rounded, sometimes called a curved surface that's connecting the two. So we've done a prism, here's a cube right here. So it's a type of prism. And then we need a sphere. Well, a sphere that's pretty simple, right? That's just a ball. It's just one curved surface. It's all one big curved surface, rounded surface. Hard to draw because it kind of just looks like a circle. And you kind of do some curved lines like this to try to give it some depth. Now, what do we have here? Those are our options. Well, this can right here, you notice this can is a cylinder. And we also have this drum. It's a little bit squatter, but it's also a cylinder. These two are going to be cylinders. And then your eraser and your toolbox, even though they are slightly different, they are both going to be prisms because they've got rectangular faces, and both of them actually are rectangular prisms. So we don't have any cubes, so we're going to get rid of this one. We do have, okay, so we're going to get rid of G because it's got a cube. Prism, cylinder, prism, sphere, we're going to get rid of H because it's a sphere. We don't need that. And so for F, we've got eraser, toolbox, and can and drum and cylinder. That's our answer.